Hi there, welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona and welcome back. If you're joining me again, today's class is a 45-minute Vinyasa flow. It's a grounding and centering class using conscious breath and movement to find your steady center. It's part 2 of the series. And this particular class moves at a very deliberately slow pace. It includes lunges and balances. And it's ideal if you're feeling restless or unsettled. It's a very calming class. For practice today, you will need a blanket. And if you'd like to practice with a block for your balances, I'd have one of those along as well. And if you are enjoying the classes and you'd like to support me posting each week, I'm on Patreon. All the details are in the description below. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy your practice. Namaste. And begin your practice laying down on your belly, laying prone, downward facing Shavasana. As you come to rest forward, take a loose cactus shape with your right arm, bending your right elbow, and set your right elbow a little higher than your shoulder. Then take your left arm down by your side, by your body with your palm face up. Turning your head in toward your right elbow. And we're not going to be here long, but if it's awkward for your neck, you could use your right hand as a pillow if that's helpful. Letting your heels relax out so your lower back can broaden and soften. Take a smooth breath in and then just let your breath fall out of your body, sensing the surface beneath you, your chest, your belly, your pelvis, your legs heavy. And invite your breath to grow fuller cycle by cycle. And feel how your breath in the front line of your body moves into the earth with each breath you take. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift up a little way, just change the arms around. Again, take a few breaths. Feel the contact of your body with the mat, feeling your weight. And as you're ready, a little fully inhale. Then let your body sigh it out. Turn and face your mat now, hands by your lowest ribs, and press back to a child's pose, Balasana, at the back of your mat. Knees can go wide or narrow, arms forward. Taking a few moments here to commit to taking a soft and accommodating approach to your practice today, supporting yourself with a slow breath pace and moving in a way that feels nourishing and supportive. Finding your connection to the ground here, feeling your body's touch points anchoring you, your body breathing you, your breath moving easily into your back body, your exhales falling softly into your belly, slow and calm. Gliding up onto all fours now and flowing through a few rounds of cat and cow to ease your joints and your muscles awake. Arching your spine on your inhales, rounding your spine on your exhales. Letting your movement and your breath merge softly together. And take one more round in each direction. And then meet me in a neutral spine. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees, and then walk your hands back. We'll gather together at the back of the mat in Malasana, Yogi Squat. So heel your feet wide away from one another, angling your toes out, and come to sit down on the back of your calves, hands to prayer. And find an accommodating version of this pose if your knees and ankles don't like deep flexion, staying either more elevated or taking a loose forward fold instead if that feels best. From a squat position, easing your elbows into your inner knees to widen the gate of the pose. And then pressing down through your outer feet, just feeling that rebounding energy up through your shape. All three parts of your spine extending, your heart lifting. Take one more breath here. Exhale and forward fold. Parallel your feet. Bending the knees generously and catch a hold. Opposite elbow tips. Inviting your head to fall heavy toward the earth. 3 slow breaths here. Breathe in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out for 2. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Keep your arms in place. Firm your belly. And then leading with your heart, come all the way up to stand, holding your elbows overhead. And then on an exhale, take a side bend over to your right. On an inhale, come back through center and exhale, side bend to your left. Breathe in, back to center, float your arms wide. Turn your palms to face forward. On your exhale, turn your right thumb down, swim your right hand behind your back and sweep the left arm up and overhead to your right. Deeper side bend. Once more now, return to center, arms to a T. Left thumb turns down, hand behind your back, right arm up and over to your left. Back to center, and then sweep your arms overhead, press your palms, forward fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, send your gaze forward. On your exhale, walk your hands forward, transition into a plank pose, top of a push-up. Creating a nice strong foundation through your hands, lightly gripping with your fingertips. Then feel for a natural arch right in the center of your hands, then closing up the air pockets around the perimeter of your hands. Take 2 more steady breaths. On your exhale, knees to the floor, gently lower all the way down to your belly. Coming into Cobra pose, pause and hold for a few breaths. Try and keep that tone and intention in your hands, like you're dragging your hands back, drawing your chest forward. And then aim to spread the effort between your hands and your core to lift your torso. Exhale, lower. And then press back to a child's pose, buttocks to your heels. On your inhale, glide up onto all fours. Then make a little bit of space. Just going to step the right foot forward, coming into a low lunge. You're going to stay low on the fingertips to frame your foot. And just linger here, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. One more here, breathe in and out. Transition into the half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Walk your hands back under the shoulders as you work towards straightening your right leg. Drawing your right thigh back in space, firming your right quads. And then move dynamically with your breath. Lunge forward on your inhale. Straighten your right leg on your exhale. Once more, inhale, lunge. Exhale, half splits. Re-lunge your right leg now and move into gate pose. Pivot your left foot behind you. Straighten your right leg, coming upright, turn and face the long edge of your mat. Stretch your arms out wide and then take a side bend to your right. Right hand to your right leg, reach your left arm either straight up or overhead. Anchor down through your left shin and your feet as you gently press your hips forward, lengthening into the left side waist. Tapping into the cues, the wisdom of your breath, to make any subtle adjustments to balance. Feel steady and at ease. Come back through center and then release. Return to your lunge on your fingertips, face the top of your mat. And then just slide your right knee back to meet your left. Sit back into a child's pose, buttocks to your heels. Second side, inhale all fours. On your exhale, left foot steps up now, low lunge. 3 breaths. Half splits on your exhale, left leg straightens, toes flex. Pause and hold here. And then move between the two, lunge forward on your inhale. Straighten your left leg on your exhale. Once more, lunge. And exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Re-lunge your left leg now, moving into gate pose. Pivot your right foot behind, straighten the left leg, coming upright. Arms wide into a T and then side bend to your left. Letting the rhythm of your breath remind you and amplify that feeling of slowing down, landing you back in your body, grounded and steady. Come back to center and then return to your lunge. As you're ready, slide your left knee back to greet your right. Child's pose, Balasana on your exhale. Smooth cycle of breath in, calm breath out. Next in-breath, all fours, and then tuck your toes, hover your knees, and walk your hands back to your feet at the back of your mat. On your inhale, open your chest forward, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana at the back of your mat. On your inhale now, Utkatasana, chair pose. Motion your hips down and back. Sitting nice and low as your arms reach, little pinky fingers turn in. Press down through your feet, come to stand, straighten the legs. Lower your prayer hands to your heart center, Tadasana. Just pausing for a few breaths. Feeling your feet planted solidly beneath you, your spine lifted, your head floating evenly above your pelvis. And bringing your subtle attention to each breath. All flow and add on now. As you move, try and intentionally connect to the ground to anchor you. You're feeling your density and solidity, stability in the postures, focusing on these qualities. Inhale, raise your arms overhead. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, walk forward, plank pose. Stay for your in-breath. And then exhale, knees, chest and chin to the floor. Inhale, one breath here, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. First one here, just easing into this shape. Offer yourself some movement, pedaling your heels slowly with the beat of your breath. And then being deliberate with your hands, the placement of your feet, creating a balance of effort between your arms and your legs as you move yourself towards stillness. Take 2 more slow breaths. As you feel yourself breathe in, slowly raise your right leg up and back, down dog splits. Exhale, lightly step your right foot up for runner's lunge. Coming onto the fingertips, create a lightness there as you press the floor away with your right heel. Find a lift and engagement through your left thigh, so your legs support you more here than the fingertips. And then anchor your left heel to the mat now. Keep your right knee tracking forward so you've got warrior legs. Walk your hands forward and out to the top left corner of your space. So you come into a down dog lunge. You can stay on the fingertips or palms flush with the floor. As you go, keep that buoyancy and lift in the left leg as you dig the left heel into the mat. Walking your hands back in, release, walk around to your left now for Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged fold. Heels out, toes pigeon in, lift up halfway on your in-breath. Fold on your out-breath between your legs. Then take the next few breaths to deliberately ground the outer edges of your feet. So your inner arches create a cave and move away from one another. And balance that by hugging your thigh muscles firmly in around your thigh bones. You've got that stability through the knees and down to the earth where you touch down. Inhale here, rise up halfway onto the fingertips. And then exhale, return to your runner's lunge for a twist. As you're ready, left palm stays flush with the mat. Reach your right arm up toward the ceiling. 3 breaths together. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. And out. Release. Hands to the floor and step quietly back to downward facing dog. Left side now. On your inhale, raise your left leg up. Exhale, left foot steps up for runner's lunge. Just pause on your fingertips. You can rock a little forward, sway a little back, easing into your right hip flexors. And then anchor your right heel. Keep the left knee tracking forward as you start to walk your hands forward out to the right, any amount for your dog lunge. Just keep making space for your breath. Notice your posture. Make space to soften, find ease, not fighting your body. And walk the hands back in, pivoting the toes to the long edge of your mat for Prasarita. Hands under shoulders, lift up halfway. And then fold between your legs. On your inhale, rise up onto the fingertips and then return to runner's lunge for your twist. Right hand stays down, left arm reaching up. Using each exhale to turn your right side ribs toward your inner left thigh. Turning from your middle upper back Sending the gaze up. Exhale, release, hands to the floor, stepping quietly back, downward facing dog. Just pausing here. Resisting the temptation to fidget, just find a steady gaze point or close your eyes. And then place a little bend in your knees, walk your hands back to your feet at the back of your mat. As you arrive, hands to shins, open your heart forward, and then fold and release on your exhale. Next breath in, Utkatasana, chair pose, bend the knees, reach your arms. Stay for your exhale, weight into your heels. Take another breath. Bring your hands to your heart center, and then twist to your right now. So aim your thumbs toward your sternum, and then breathe toward where you have space, expanding through the ribs. And then stay with it last few breaths. Just lift your chin away from your chest a little, so you align your chest, your throat, and your head. On your exhale, turn and forward fold over the legs. Next in-breath, return to chair pose, Utkatasana. Stay for your out-breath. Press your palms, lower your hands and twist to your left now. Left palm pressing into your right to open your chest, then taking both shoulder heads back in space. As you're ready, on an exhale, forward fold over your legs. Coming up to stand on your inhale, 2 straight legs, arms overhead. Tadasana, lower your hands to prayer. Pausing here. For the next balancing sequence, you may wish to have a block at the top of your mat for support. And from here, we're going to balance down the mat, and with a view to really encouraging you to find your steady center. So we'll start balancing on our right foot. Lift and spread your right toes, the sole of your right foot. Then transfer your weight into your right foot, raise your left knee in toward your chest. We'll make our way into tree pose, Vrksasana. It's placing your left foot anywhere on the inseam of your right leg. And then very subtly stand a little taller into your right leg bones, hugging lightly your right hip in toward the midline to stabilize. Hands to your heart center. Focus your gaze to a still point. Then balancing down the mat, release and step your left foot to the middle of your mat, transitioning into eagle pose. Wrap and bind your right leg over your left, sitting your hips down and back. And then once you're ready, when you're steady, wrap the left arm over your right, either catching opposite shoulders or bring your palms to touch. Garudasana. Trying to balance yourself over your center of support, hugging everything into the midline. Grounding into your left big toe, center of your heel. Take one more breath. Exhale and unravel. Step the right foot to the top of your mat for supported warrior 3. Just slowly extending your left leg out behind you. Your hands can come to a block if you have one, fingertips to the floor, or if you're feeling steady, hands to prayer. Staying present to your breath wherever you're at. Stay with me here. We're going to move into a baby eagle. Hands to the floor for support. Bend both knees. Guide your left knee behind your right, crossing your legs, and then balancing low, setting your left toes to the floor. And if it feels like too much for your knees or it just doesn't work for your body, please take a seat, cross your legs, find an accommodating version for you. We're just going to move into a lateral side body stretch and twist, which you can do from a seated position as an alternative. From here, shift your right fingertips out to the right and then reach your left arm up and overhead. And then switching sides, lateral stretch to your right, left fingertips down, right arm up and overhead. And then once more to your right now for a twist. So option to take both hands to the floor to your right. You might like to take prayer hands and balance here. Or if Ekapada Kundinasana is in your practice, you can take both hands to the floor and take flight. Raise the feet, extend the legs. Take 2 more breaths in your version. Landing lightly if you had the legs elevated, and then we'll just take the hands to the floor, unravel, come into standing splits, reach your left leg up toward the ceiling. Last one here. Just lengthen, stretch out. We're just here for a beat. And then step the left foot back, find your runner's lunge. Take a breath on the fingertips. And then downward facing dog. Pause here if you'd like to take rest or flow with me. High push up on your inhale. Exhale to the floor. Inhale for cobra. Downward facing dog. Just pausing here. And practicing our balancing on one foot in these asymmetrical postures really teaches us how to find center in our balance. They're naturally grounding in their intention, and even if they don't feel that way, they require all our unwavering attention, and that creates presence in the moment and also an opportunity to practice grounding in wobbly situations. So if you can maintain your presence in these shapes that really make you falter, you can establish a steady center in spite of the asymmetry. So it's good for on and off the mat because most of our life is usually spent a little out of balance in asymmetry. From here, we'll just take one more cycle of breath. As you exhale, walk your hands back to your feet at the back of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Rise slow, come to stand. And exhale, Tadasana. Final side, our balance sequence. Balancing on your left foot now to begin. Raising your right foot into tree pose. And if your balance is wobbly, just take your toes to the floor, lift your heel up against the inner left calf. And then balancing down your mat, step the right foot middle of the mat. Transitioning into eagle, your left leg will wrap over your right, hugging your legs together. Then wrap your right arm over your left for Garudasana. Lifting your elbows to the height of the shoulders, drawing the forearms forward. Steady gaze. One more breath here. Exhale, unravel. Left foot to the top of your mat, supported warrior 3. Extending your right leg out behind you, just finding your vision, hands or no hands. Aim to keep your weight even through your left foot, your right leg engaged so you don't feel soggy and heavy in your balance. And then transitioning into baby eagle, bend both knees, hands to the floor for support. Take your right knee behind your left. So you're making a shelf with your right thigh and you're balancing low on your right toes now, whole sole of the left foot. Modifying by coming into a comfortable seat if that feels best. Once you're steady, left fingertips down to your left, reach your right arm up and overhead. And then switch sides, right fingertips to the floor, send the left arm up and overhead to your right. And then once more now to your left for a twist, option to take both hands to the floor to your left, or prayer hands. Or final option, Ekapada Kundiniyasana, hands to the floor, float the feet, extend the legs. Landing lightly if you had some air there. Hands to the floor in front, unraveling into standing splits, right leg up toward the ceiling. You can put a little bend in the left knee. Forward folding over your left thigh. And as you exhale, step your right foot back, runner's lunge, take a breath, no rush. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a flow or pause, do less, your choice, and we're all going to meet up in a child's pose at the back of your mat. Resting and winding down now, letting go of your effort. Feel the solidity of the floor holding you. Your jaw and your shoulders loosening as you savor this quietening shape. And gently easing your way back up. If you have a block, grabbing it now or a folded blanket. And from here, we'll move into supported Viparita Karani or legs up pose as an alternative. And if you're without props, you can take your legs up a wall space if you have one that's available to you for this posture. Otherwise, reclining now down onto your back with your props. Bending the knees, feet to the floor, and then lifting your buttocks to place the block on its flat side or folded blanket under the top of your buttocks, back of your pelvis. And then just slowly take both legs up toward the ceiling. And you may need to nestle, wriggle your props to find that sweet spot where you can feel comfortably supported. And sometimes a bend in your knees can help you feel more grounded. Just puts more weight down into your upper body, really helping you to settle you in the pose. Hands can rest on your body or by your sides. Or for something more expansive, arms into a loose cactus shape or overhead. And coming into a quiet place, just observing. Sensing where your body makes contact with the floor. Feeling heaviness at the back of your skull. Backs of your shoulders and pelvis. And here for just one more minute, you might like to gradually now extend the length of your exhales, signaling to your nervous system to down-regulate, rest, and calm any lingering momentum in your body from your practice. And now 1 foot at a time, landing down, feet to the floor, easing the blanket or block out there, and rolling down, back down to earth. Pause when you arrive, letting your spine settle into its natural curve. And transitioning into an easeful recline twist now. Arms wide to a T, walk your feet wide to the side edges of your mat. And then rock your knees over to your right, staggering the legs. And changing sides, moving slow. Rocking the knees over to your left. It's finding an accommodating shape in your twist so your breath can rise and fall free and easy. Last few breaths. And then rock your knees back to center. Bring the soles of your feet together now for reclined butterfly pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. Invite your knees to relax open, your groins to soften. Eyes can gently close, just grounding your awareness in the here and the now by focusing on your breath. And if your mind does wander, perhaps picking up on something on your to-do list, or it drifts back in memory, forward in time, keep compassionately bringing your awareness back to the present moment, holding your breath in your relaxed awareness. And for your last few minutes here, please feel free to remain in this shape or extend the legs out long, move into Shavasana, final rest. And as you come to rest fully now, allow the current of your mind to move inwards. And just become a witness to your inner landscape. And if there are any places in your body, places in your mind or your heart, where you still feel contracted or restless or stressed, just hold these places in your awareness with compassion and patience, using your exhalations to soften, to release, and just make peace with what is. And I'll be back to guide you back in a few minutes. And gently, softly drifting your awareness back. Breathe a bright breath through your whole body. Start to wriggle and wake up the toes and the fingers. And then bending your knees, take your feet to the floor. And when you're ready, rolling out to your right side, just pause there. Notice how you feel here at the end of your practice. And know that you can return to this calm, grounded aspect of your consciousness anytime during the day with your breath and presence. Gently dragging your way back up to sit. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope through this practice you feel more grounded, less restless, and at peace. Take care. Namaste.